Wimbledon
Alcaraz's
después de
gesture
4
toward
sets,
King Felipe
4 a
VI
6,
after losing at
6 a
Wimbledon.
4,
The Mercian
6
tennis
a
player
4 y
dedicated a
6
few
a
words to the
4.
king, who was
Este
present
se
in the royal
convertía en
box on
campeón
center
por
court,
primera
and
vez de este
surprised the monarch given
campeonato,
the moment.
dejando fuera de
With
las
his head
manos del
held high in a
murciano este
royal,
trofeo.
thank you.
Por
Carlos
supuesto que
Alcaraz played the
volveré,
Wimbledon
decía
final
Carlos
against
en la
Yannick
entrega
Sinner,
de
although
premios,
this time he couldn't
habiendo tenido
overcome the
entre los
Italian.
asistentes a su
Alcaraz
partido a un
lost his
invitado
first
de
final to Sinner and
excepción,
was unable
el
to
rey
claim his
Felipe
third
VI,
consecutive trophy at the All England
57
Club,
años,
but he
que no
confessed he
quiso
wasn't feeling
perderse
down
este
because you
torneo,
have to be grateful for
habiéndole
what you're
visto de lo más
experiencing,
emocionado
according
desde
to
el palco
ATP
de honor.
statements.
Es más,
King Felipe
este disfrutó
VI was
tanto que
present in the
después de la
royal box of
derrota quiso
Wimbledon
tener
center
un...
court
Ya
to watch the
conocimos
match
hace
between
poco
the
que
two
el rey
great tennis
quiso haber
players.
ido a Roland
After
Garros
the
cuando
match,
Carlos
Alcaraz
Alcaraz
spoke
hizo
into the
historia
tournament
y revalidó
microphones
su
and wanted to give
título,
a special
no
thank you
siendo
at that
posible.
moment. I want to thank
Sin
the King of
embargo,
Spain for
la
being
propia
here.
Casa Real
It's an honor to
informaba
have
de
him
que
watching
este
me
pudo
play.
hablar con el tenista para
These
darle
words
la
later
enhorabuena
received
y
a reply
lamentar
from
no
Felipe
poder estar en
VI.
París.
He was very
Pues
kind
bien,
because at that
ahora
moment,
que sí ha
with so
podido
many
ir a
things
Londres,
going through his head,
la
I
suerte
didn't
no
expect
estuvo
it,
del lado
said
del
the head of state
deportista
on
y,
Cope and owned a
a
Sarah
través de la
radio.
cuenta de
He
Instagram
also stated
oficial
that
de
you
la
can't
Casa
always
Real,
win and
hemos
recognize the high
podido ver
level
unas
shown by the
imágenes
Mercian
del
tennis
monarca
player.
junto al tenista.
Alcaraz was incredible.
Junto a estas aseguraban
Finally,
que el
the
rey
monarch
había
delivered a message
asistido
about
esta
Spanish
tarde a la
sport,
final de
acknowledging the
Wimbledon
joy
entre
of
Carlos
continued
Alcaraz
success but
y Yannick
emphasizing the
Sinner,
importance of
celebrada
staying
en el All
grounded.
England Lawn
Spanish
Tennis
sport is
and
always
Croquet.
at the
A su
forefront.
llegada, el
It's
rey
nice
ha
to get
podido
used to
felicitar a
victories,
Martín
but
de
we
la
also need to
Puente,
keep a bit of
campeón
humility,
del
he
torneo de
said.
dobles de tenis en
In
silla de
addition,
ruedas de
the royal
Wimbledon
household shared images
2025
on its
junto
social
al
media
neerlandés
accounts
Rubén
after the Grand
Spargaren
Slam
y,
to acknowledge the
al
tennis
terminar
player's
la final
performance and
individual
effort. The
masculina,
king has
el rey
congratulated
se ha
Carlos
acercado a
Alcaraz after the
felicitar también a
2025
Carlos
Wimbledon
Alcaraz
final for
por
his
su
great
gran
performance in the
participación en el
tournament.
torneo.
Thank you,
Leíamos
Carlos
en este
Alcaraz.
texto,
You made us
dejando
enjoy
claro
another
que el
thrilling
rey estaba
final, giving your
igualmente
very best.
orgulloso con la labor del
Now,
joven
the El
deportista a
Palmer
pesar
native
del
will rest to
resultado.
regain strength and face the
Gracias,
challenges that lie
arroba
ahead this
Carlitos
season.
Alcaraz. Has
Carlos
hecho que
Alcaraz
disfrutemos
came
de
into the
otra final
Wimbledon final
vibrante
with the
dando lo
pressure of
mejor de
defending
ti.
the title he won the
Terminaba este
previous year.
mensaje,
Opposite
siendo
him
unas
stood an
palabras de
unstoppable
ánimo y
Yannick
apoyo
Sinner
para
who ended up
Alcaraz que
taking the
seguro
crown.
que le han gustado.
But instead of
Además de
giving
este
into
post,
frustration,
el propio
Alcaraz
Carlos
delivered one
compartía
of the
una
most
publicación
impactful
en
images
su
of the
perfil
tournament.
oficial de
Upon
Instagram
receiving the
en la que se
runner-up
dejaba
trophy,
ver
he
junto a
made a deep
Yannick,
bow to Princess
el
Kate
campeón,
Middleton, an
mientras
uncommon
ambos
gesture
cargaban
among
con sus
international tennis
recompensas.
players. The
Con un
public's
gran
reaction
talante,
was immediate,
este
applause,
felicitaba a su contrario
ovations,
en el
and a
texto.
wave of respect toward the young
Felicidades
Spaniard for
arroba
his
Yannick
humility.
Sin por tu primer
The bow
Wimbledon.
was not just a
Muy
display of
bien
good
merecido.
manners, but also a nod
Gracias
to
a
British
todos por
tradition.
vuestro apoyo.
At Wimbledon,
Me siento
the
como en
presence of
casa y es
royalty
muy
has always
especial
carried
jugar aquí.
symbolic weight.
Nos vemos el
From
año que
protocol to
viene.
small gestures,
Escribí este en
everything is
este post,
scrutinized.
habiendo
And
obtenido
Alcaraz,
respuestas de
far from
perfiles
seeming
como
out
el
of place,
oficial de
stood out
Wimbledon
for
que
his
comentaba
sensitivity
lo
and respect
siguiente.
toward the culture.
Enhorabuena
It
por
was a
dos
subtle
nuevas
but
e
powerful
increíbles
act that caught
semanas,
the attention of
Charlie.
millions and made
Hasta
headlines
el año
across
que
Europe.
fue Kate
Without
Middleton
raising
la
his
que hacía
voice,
entrega de
without
su
medals
premio
or
como
speeches,
finalista a
Alcaraz
Alcaraz,
said far more
que
than he did
consiguió
with his racket.
muchísimos aplausos de los
But what really
asistentes
set the
y que
internet
quiso dar
ablaze
un
happened
discurso
seconds
de
after the gesture.
agradecimiento en el que
According
también
to
tuvo muy
sources close to
presente
the
a
event,
nuestro
there was a
monarca.
brief exchange of
No
words
quiero
between
irme sin
Princess
darle las
Kate and
gracias
Carlos
al rey de
Alcaraz that
España.
was not
Es
captured by
para
the
mí un
official
honor que haya
microphones, but
volado
was
hasta
partially
Londres.
overheard by some
Estoy
attending
agradecido.
journalists. With a
Comenzaba
warm
expresando.
smile, Kate reportedly leaned slightly
Es
toward
difícil
Alcaraz to
perder en la
congratulate
final,
him and thank him
pero
for his
quiero
elegance on the
felicitarle por
court.
su victoria.
Alcaraz,
Tienes
visibly
un gran
emotional,
equipo a tu
responded
alrededor.
with humility and
Estoy muy feliz
sincerity.
por compartir esto en
The
la
princess
pista.
is said to have told him,
Continuaba,
"You play
dejando
with
claro
heart,
que esta
Carlos.
derrota le había
It's an
puesto
honor to have
triste,
you
pero
here."
mostrando su
To which
alegría
he
por su
replied,
compañero de
"Thank you,
profesión.
Your Royal
Estoy
Highness.
muy feliz de todo
Playing
lo
on this
que he
court,
hecho en
in
esta
front of you and
temporada.
your people, is a
Luego
dream
empecé
come
a
true."
divertirme en la cancha
The tone was
gracias a mi
intimate,
equipo y a mi
respectful,
familia.
and genuine.
Sin ellos
In
no
that
podría
moment,
estar
sets
aquí y
and
jugar a
scores no longer
tenis.
mattered.
Es un gran
Alcaraz had
viaje.
won something
Vamos a
more
seguir
valuable than a trophy.
divirtiéndonos. Voy a
He had
volver
earned
a
the admiration
Wimbledon.
of a nation
Es
that
uno de
values
los
nobility
torneos
of
más
character as much as
maravillosos.
sporting
Me
talent.
siento como en casa
This
cada
brief
vez que
dialogue
vengo.
was interpreted by
Es
many
una
as a
pista muy
reflection of the
bonita.
new spirit of modern tennis. Competitive, yes, but also human. In an era where gestures matter more than ever, this exchange represented a perfect fusion of institutional respect and genuine emotion in sport. Kate Middleton, known for her warmth and elegance, appreciated not just Alcaraz's talent but also his way of representing his country with pride and humility. The gesture and subsequent conversation with Princess Kate Middleton continued to generate buzz in the following days. On British social media, thousands of users highlighted how unusual and moving the moment was. Some even noted that not all previous finalists had shown that level of courtesy, which made Alcaraz's bow stand out even more. It became an iconic image, used by news outlets and newspapers to speak of the new gentleman of tennis, an unofficial but very meaningful title. Moreover, the connection between Alcaraz and British royalty didn't end there. King Felipe VI, who had traveled specifically to London to witness the final, was a witness to the bow and the brief exchange with Kate Middleton. After the match, Alcaraz publicly thanked the monarch for his support, yet another gesture showing his sense of honor and the value he places on tradition. The Spanish press highlighted the King's presence as an important institutional endorsement, while in the UK it was seen as a sign of mutual respect between royalty and athletes. Many sports analysts pointed out that these kinds of details are what make Wimbledon such a special tournament. It's not just a championship, but an event steeped in history and values. Alcaraz's behavior reflected not only his maturity but also his ability to adapt and shine in such a culturally demanding setting as the All England Club. While some players focus solely on the sport, Alcaraz managed to connect with the emotional side of the event, and that set him apart. Kate Middleton's words echoed beyond the moment. In later interviews, sources close to Kensington Palace said the princess had been deeply impressed by the Spanish player's composure. He's an admirable young man, with an energy that inspires. He didn't need to win to prove he's a true champion, she reportedly said in private. That quote, echoed by various media outlets, solidified the public's perception of Alcaraz as more than just a top athlete. He was seen as an ambassador for the sport. Even some traditionally reserved British sports commentators joined the chorus of praise. One of them said on a BBC program, "What we saw was a lesson in class. Carlos lost the match, but he won Wimbledon in his own way." The clip went viral on platforms like TikTok and X, where many British users declared themselves forever fans of Alcaraz. Some even called for him to be given an honorary distinction for his behavior. In a world where public figures are constantly under scrutiny, moments like this become even more valuable. Carlos Alcaraz's bow wasn't a planned or promotional act, it was an authentic expression of respect. And the warm, personal response from Kate Middleton completed the scene like a perfect choreography between tradition and emotion. A brief conversation, a sincere gesture, and a legacy that goes beyond the final result. Carlos Alcaraz did not win the 2025 Wimbledon title, but he achieved something even more memorable. He won the admiration of the United Kingdom with his exemplary behavior. The bow to Kate Middleton and the brief dialogue with the princess left an indelible mark on the tournament, reminding us that tennis is also played with the heart. Beyond points, sets, or trophies, what endures is how an athlete behaves in the face of adversity. And Alcaraz proved that losing a match is not the same as being defeated. Sometimes, the true victory lies in how one rises, greets, and bows. Thanks for joining us on this journey through one of the most talked about moments of Wimbledon 2025. If you were surprised by this leaked conversation between Carlos Alcaraz and Kate Middleton, imagine how many more stories lie hidden behind the sacred grass of tennis. Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this, leave your comment on what you thought of Alcaraz's gesture, and of course, share this video with true fans of sport and elegance. See you at the next match. Alcaraz, I take a lot away from this final. The Spaniard lost his first Grand Slam final to Jannik Sinner. Carlos Alcaraz couldn't claim his third consecutive Wimbledon title, but he leaves the All England Club with his head held high. After losing the final to Jannik Sinner, the Mercian offered a mature reflection, focused on learning and growth. His message, far from disappointment, revolved around acceptance, development, and the ambition to keep competing at the top. "The grass court season I've had has been very positive," said the number 2 in the PIF ATP rankings. "It's been about 4 weeks here in London that I'm very proud of and happy about," added the Spaniard. Obviously, losing a Grand Slam final is always hard to accept, but we've learned to take things as they come and find the positives. "I'm not feeling bad, I'm happy with everything I've done." During the match, which he lost in 4 sets, Alcaraz experienced moments of confidence and of mental block. "There were good moments during the match, when I felt perfect, and others when I didn't know what to do," admitted the Mercian. After the first set, Sinner raised his level a lot, especially from the baseline, and I felt I wasn't hurting him. At that point, he was better than me. He played more complete tennis today, he explained. That's when I got frustrated. We had a mental block because we were up against a player who left practically no gaps. Far from hiding, Alcaraz clearly identified what he needs to improve. "I take a lot away from this final," the Spaniard warned. "Things I need to improve. I've never been one to write down what I did wrong after losing a match, but today I see it clearly, and maybe I'll write it down to train on it later." That's how a great champion is forged, he reflected. From defeats, especially painful ones like a Grand Slam final, is where you learn the most. You have to accept that sometimes the other guy is better, be proud of what you did, and prepare for the next one. Despite the loss, the 22-year-old will not change his approach to tennis one bit. Quite the opposite. "Right now I'm not feeling down," Alcaraz confessed. "On the contrary. My team came to greet me and I was already smiling when I stepped off the court," he revealed. "You have to be grateful for what you're experiencing. And this has been a very good tournament. I lost to someone who showed an extremely high level. The way Sinner moves on grass is brutal, he praised. In the fourth set, there was a moment when I told myself, you have to enjoy this. I started smiling much more, and that's when I had the most break opportunities. For me, that says a lot about how we're on the right path. Alcaraz's season, featuring a Roland Garros title, a Wimbledon final, and 4 additional trophies, reinforces his place at the top of world tennis. Without a doubt, I would have signed up for this season, he admitted. I've won several Masters 1000s, a Grand Slam, a final and another Grand Slam. You have to look at it positively. Not many people have played a Wimbledon final, and that should be appreciated. What we've achieved is really good. It's time for us to impose our tennis, our level, and reach the final rounds of the big tournaments, he said. We are building a really nice rivalry for tennis. Everyone sees Yannick as an example, as the man to beat, and many look to him to improve. Me too. I hope we can keep building this story together. Now it's time to rest. With a demanding calendar behind him, Alcaraz will take a few vacation days before heading into the American hard court swing.